NHL 26 Season 3 is here. We have a ton of XP, same as usual. We're getting 100 across the board for everything for goalies and players. You have a new mascot for Florida, it looks like here, called the Cougar. Could have been a Panther, but same thing, I guess. The objectives are going to help you in the season's pass. For everyone who's playing League, you're going to have to play some pub games. There is some cool stuff in this season's pass. I've got a little bit of a sneak peek at it here from some of my buddies when I was at work. So let's get right into it because there's some pretty crazy stuff. We'll start off with the Battle Pass because this is the Battle Pass for NHL 26. So it looks like we got some international themes going on here, which makes sense when you get to see some of the player classes that are in here. So you got Matthew Tkachuk. It's a limited class. It is going to be a power forward. It's not going to transfer to future releases. So I guess that's kind of something different because the pre-builds, they do transfer over to the next NHL. But where you're at, I guess this is only going to be specifically for 26, which I guess makes sense in the fact that it's based on a player and the player could be potentially worse. So this is the Matthew Tkachuk power forward, 6'2", 202, big tipper, born leader, and spark plug. You got a shit ton of red perks. That is like 130, 120 AP, somewhere in there. You got a wicked wrister at 93, 91, 90, 91 slap. Your speed is 92. Basically, this whole build is a little bit slower, but good at everything. Like, it's got very high stats all the way across the board. There's really nothing wrong with this build other than it's a little bit on the slower side. So that's the Tkachuk build. We'll get to the rest of them in this battle pass here. Some pants, some coins. Rantanen's next. Take a peek at this one here because you can preview the classes now, which is nice. So 6'4", 228, quick release, 1T, tape to tape. 92-90 shot, heavy on the slapper with 94-93. 92 speed seems to be the ballpark for the bigger players here, so they're not totally dead, but slow on arrival. But they do have a very strong average across the board. Now, Rantanen's stick checking is a little bit not good at 77 with 80 defensive awareness, but he is an offensive threat, as showcased by quick release 1T and tape to tape. So pretty solid across the board for his. Again, these ones are free unless you choose to skip in the battle pass, which the very last battle pass, if I'm right here, is going to be pretty good. So this one's Darlene. This one has Edges, Second Wind, and Tape to Tape. Second Wind is a great perk. Edges is super good too. It's a little bit slower at 90, but he does have good balance and 92 agility. The shot is pretty good from back there, being 94 accuracy with an 89 power. Puck control is a super important stat. Stick checking is a bit on the lower side for a defenseman, especially a two-way defenseman, but his passing's up there. Offensive awareness is at 95. Defensive awareness is 91. I think that if you make this build yourself, you could do better for the play style category, at least. You're not going to be able to match the shooting aspect of a two-way defenseman compared to this build here. The stick checking, talked about that. It's kind of underwhelming. The strength is 88. It's a little bit underwhelming for a class of this size. The hand-eye is 91, and the D-King is 92, and 78 discipline's kind of low for a defensive class. Hellebuck is in here too, so another goalie class. So let's see this one. 94 across the board. You got dialed in, sponge, and post to post, 6'4", 207. I'm not super big on goalie breakdowns, so I couldn't tell you too much about it. But I will say that most goalies have a little bit higher speed, but it comes down to the durability endurance, which this class has quite a lot of. So if you're positionally sound, I feel like this will reward you for being great and reading the play. But again, I can't give you the best aspect for it. I put the puck past the tendy. I don't play tendy too often. Now, on to the next one. We are at 41 out of 45. The last one is kind of cheesy. So tier 44, this Golden Crown stuff, it's cool. Doesn't matter. This is what we want. Connor McDavid, playmaker, limited class. So McDavid's a playmaker who's elite speed and agility, lets him carry the puck with ease, deking past defenders at full speed. He's got elite vision, constant scoring threats, exclusive to NHL26, and will not transfer. So let's take a peek. You got red wheels, blue edges, and yellow ankle breaker. It's a playmaker class. You have a ridiculous wrist shot at 94, 92. Slap shots 89, 91. This class, being McDavid, has to be better than anything we can make. So it gets 98 speed because a power forward at 97 on the same stuff was already ridiculous. Let's give it to 98. So you get 97 acceleration, 97 puck control, and 88 balance with 95 agility. So it's pretty good in all skating aspects, as McDavid is one of the best skaters, if not the best skater in the NHL, especially for speed. But your endurance is low, and while I don't think this is relative to McDavid's skill, I think this is more of the only way you can balance this class is to strip it down with its endurance and weaker play style. Now, McDavid's not really that physical. His stick checking is good. Probably could have been higher, but they're balancing for EASHL, and defensive awareness is 80. Now, I disagree, but again, you got to balance it within the game. So McDavid's got 93 hand-eye, 80 strength, 85 durability, 75 shot blocking, and 97 deking. Now, the takeaway with this is red wheels is an 85 AP perk, blue edges is 55, and ankle breaker is 5. So you get to be fast in every single aspect of everything you do. If you get knocked over, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle with the defense or with the endurance without having Warrior on. But you do have 88 balance and you are 6'1", 194, so that will help compensate getting hit, especially when you can just turn away and sprint with super speed from wheels and edges. Like, it is a nasty pre-build, and it's going to cost you a lot if you want to skip to this. So let's say I want to skip to this tier. If I go the season pass tier, it is 6,600 coins, which means you have to pay roughly 67 bucks. You get 6,250 here, and then 5,500 here. It's that's a lot to get up to that build, especially when that build is only going to be usable in the future seasons. But that is the NHL 26 Season 3 Battle Pass. Now let's look at Clausen. Clausen here is the Florida Panthers style thing. Looks like it's got some decent perks. We got edges, no contest, and stick 'em up. Take a peek at that here. Breaking this down, it is a 6-foot, 200-pound playmaker, or sorry, two-way forward. That is going to be your standard size for a two-way forward. It's got a decent shot at 87, 90 with 85 and 87 slap. It does have ridiculous agility at 99 and 95 acceleration with a ton of endurance, but it's got 92 speed. The defensive awareness is pretty good too at 92 and 93. It is well-rounded, to say the least, but I do think this one does fall a little bit short just because of the speed. It's a lot like Sneaky, but a little bit bigger. Like, you remember that little mouse pre-build? It had a really good shot, good stick checking and defensive awareness, but fell a little short because of the speed. But again, this one could be pretty fun to use. I think it's just a touch on the slow side, but it's very well-rounded, so you might be able to get away with it in sixes and play a slow game. Here is the celebration. It's kind of just like a cat scratch. Yeah, self-explanatory. Cool little goatee though on it, not gonna lie. It's kind of a neat little beard the cat's got. But that is how much it costs. You get 2,000 coins for it, or you can individually break it down, as well as you get all these cool little icons. The banner's kind of neat. Glowing eyes, pretty sick. And that's kind of where we're at with it. This is how we're starting Season 3 with Hunter, Clausen, McDavid, Kachuk, Rantanen, Hellebuck, Prebuilds. Yeah, I mean, it's the direction people wanted it to go, but I don't know if it's the right implementation. People wanted less cats and more NHL style builds, so now you get NHL players but you do not get the skins for NHL players. You can't go out there and look like Kachuk and be a pest. You're just only going to get the builds through the Battle Pass. But that's everything you need to know about NHL 26 Season 3.